that's the lure here.
Okay, this Uncle Milo's new
Tighten it up.
fishing pole.
Then this one you tighten up. You're fishing 2 poles at one time.
Got
And you
two.
got your bait supply right in here.
Uh-huh.
All you need is some extra person to help carry your fish. You can fish them both at one time like this.
I see that.
And it's pretty good rod, crappie bluegill.
Yeah. It'll catch
Now,
this
what
at
made
a...
you think up this idea? What made you think up this idea? How'd you
They
think
have
of
a regulation on the pay fishing dock here.
Oh.
Only 1 pole per
Oh.
person.
Only
So
one pole.
I just wondered what the.
I think they catch me going in, it costs $4 to fish.
Yeah.
And it's going without 1 pole, that's 1 pole's all I got.
Oh,
But I've got the equivalent of 2 poles.
so that's pretty clever.
That's,
Uh-huh.
that's something,
So
isn't
the
it?
game warden can't argue about that, can
Huh?
he? Game warden can't argue. His eyes get big when I say game
1 pole,
warden.
that's 1 pole.
Yeah, his eyes got big there, didn't they?
That's
Game warden, what game warden?
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, and then you can wind get done.
They're gonna have to add a new paragraph to the fishing game book.
And then lock it so it won't play off. And this in the same way.
And now it's worked. Now you've taken that and you've
And
you've
that,
done it, and it's worked, right?
I made those spools,
Yeah.
and then that locks it, pulls the shoulder of the spool over against the side of the housing.
There
They're
you go.
compact, so get out.
There you go.
All there.
That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of them.
What's this, Dan, right here?
Oh, this. If you get tired of holding it, just sit down.
Oh, you got an easel.
Tom, look at that.
It's got an easel on it.
Oh my goodness, okay.
I'm just gonna take a break.
That's just sit and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a big grasshopper or something.
Yeah, it does look like a grasshopper.
But you better watch the pole so you get going.
Yeah, it'll hop up and start skipping away.
And this is to measure the fish length.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
to
you got a
measure-
ruler?
that's to measure the fish
Oh, to
length.
measure your
You got a
fish.
ruler
Okay,
on?
I'm gonna stand over here, Tom. I'm gonna take a film and you stand over there with your uncle and.
Okay.
Oh,
There
look at
it
this.
is.
Oh
Look
wow,
at that
that's
catfish.
a 65-pound
That's the day
catfish.
we caught him.
Caught it on Truman Dam. I didn't know that they got that big.
Yeah.
That's
I
like a
caught him
sea
weighing
bass
fif-
or something.
I caught him weighing 51 pound on that pole over there in the front of the big fish.
Uh-huh.
I got it. I can zoom in on it. Did you eat it? Did you bring it home and eat it?
Oh yeah, we dressed right there in the backyard.
Did you? You fried it? Barbecued it?
Took us an hour and 25 minutes to land him. We was fishing from a boat.
Really?
An hour and 25 minutes to land him.
Surprised you didn't break the line.
It was an 8-pound test line.
Uh-huh.
Tripped off line from the Zepco 33 reel and played it
Uh-huh.
like this.
Oh, okay.
When he pulled out, give him.
Let him run up a little bit.
Go over
Tire
there
him
and
out.
stand by your down in there too. See how much you guys look alike.
Wow.
And that's made out of the coon's tail.
Uh-huh. All these lures over here, Janis, these are all made from coontail.
I know it.
All the way from bluegill to bigger,
Uh-huh.
bigger ones.
Yep. This is the crappie.
No, that's just a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah, that'll never catch. Oh. There's one in here that, here runs a couple with it. By the way, these come off of there. They go in with a hook.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a good way to mount them.
And that's
Yeah.
another one of those,
Now, who was the character that used to make?
huh?
Who was the character that used to make banjos with possum skin on them? Was that?
Groundhog skin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And leave the tail.
groundhog.
Leave the tail on the of the possum on the
It
banjo.
was a groundhog skin. I found him dead beside the road. I skinned him.
Uh-huh.
Hung his tail up so the ashes wouldn't slip the hair on his tail.
Oh
I
yeah.
heard one with a treble hook. Hold it like this in your right hand,
Uh-huh.
right here. Now
Okay.
let me have this. Now with
Okay.
your left hand, feel the 3 points this
Okay.
way.
Yeah, gotcha. Those are huge. What kind of an animal are you gonna catch with that?
A 10-pound catfish, see that going along the edge of the bank of a night?
Yeah.
I caught catfish with muskrats and rats inside of them and mice.
You're kidding.
And they
Oh, that's what they're
started-
looking for.
That's what they're looking for.
They think that's a muskrat.
Oh.
Float that along out about 6 foot long of a rocky
Uh-huh.
bank
Yeah.
and fish downstream with the water flowing, and when you pull it, while
pull it
that
upstream.
that hair goes back, makes him longer.
Uh-huh. So it looks like it's swimming upstream.
Yep, pull upstream.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty clever. It really is. You
Yeah.
know that?
Let it right there.
Yeah, it is.
No, you know, you really could market those.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
It's just maybe against the law to capture raccoons to do something commercial.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, I know. Pretty
That was
clever.
amazing.
Ed said if they complain, I'm gonna charge them for picking it up off the highway because they have to pay people to do that.
Well, yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Hey, here now, here's my favorite rig. I use it for walking cane. You got two
Oh,
of them.
uh-huh.
One this hand, one this hand.
Yeah.
And my tackle's in there.
Oh, I'll be darned. Oh, you
Oh,
added that piece on.
My tackles are in there.
Uh-huh.
And I put that extra tape on there so when it wears out, I can put more on it.
Uh-huh.
But that's a good,
There's a walking stick.
yeah.
Like a galley?
I use that bucket over there, it's broken now. That hole in around a pole through there, about 4 foot on each side, and set behind it, I can lay a pole over the pole through that bucket.
Uh-huh.
Sit behind it and watch it and go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
But this is a good rig right here.
Wow, yeah.
Compact, everything you need there.
Yeah, it's, Zebco, it's fiberglass probably or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly light. Yeah, I like
so
the
you're
push
getting
button.
out and getting to go
Yeah,
fishing?
this-
Is he going out a little
There's a-
bit? Goes out here to these lakes here?
Plastic conduit.
Here,
Oh,
there's a lake up north by the airport.
Put
It's
gorilla
a lake.
glue on that, that
Yeah.
set that conduit over there, and leave room clear up in here. for
Oh,
the
that's
tackle
what you've
handle.
done, okay. They used to stop right about here somewhere. Somewhere about right
This-
there.
Oh, a lot of good memories fishing, huh? A
That's-
lot
that's
of
real
good
long.
happy
Uh-huh.
times
After that, pull it off.
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah, I've used those old Zebco reels.
Yeah.
I like them.
You can't beat them,
No. They're
but
cheap,
that's a
they're
good
fishing.
rig right there, it's ready to go.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how many fishing rigs I've made.
It looks like quite a few.
And here's where I sit and work.
Uh-huh. This is the shop.
Yeah.
Where all the creativity pops out.
You ready to head out?
Yeah. Did you get my phone? I have it laid.
Yeah, it's in the car.
Where's my walking stick?
I didn't see your walking stick.
Hand me down my walking cane.
Do you think it's
I'm
inside?
gonna leave on the midnight train because all my sands are taken away.
It's on the inside, dude.
It's got a crooked handle.
Now last night,
No,
at
it's
2
out
o'clock in
there.
the morning, Uncle Milo was playing his fiddle for the deer in the backyard.
That's
And
all right.
what was the tune you were playing, you were telling me?
Huh?
What was the tune you were playing last night for the raccoon in the backyard?
Beautiful. Oh,
Beautiful dreamer.
Beautiful Dreamer, yeah, he was
Yeah,
playing.
I got it in the car there. I'll play it for you after a while.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, good.
Solito Lindo and.
Solito Lindo, oh, I love that song, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
It's a Mexican song.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
good.
Solito Lindo, yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, good. Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we are. What? You remember Verna. Verna and Chester.
Aunt Verna?
Aunt Verna. Beautiful Aunt Verna.
Yeah, where is she now?
Well,
Well, she's visiting.
she's visiting. She's back in California. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just out visiting. Tom and Janis. Beautiful Aunt Verna's kids.
Janis, when you was about 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, you say something that you can't get with a zig out or something. Well, they made so many, it's a good movies, you know, they made movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gone, he left her.
Your
Yeah.
skin looks so pretty.
Well, just cut it off.
Well, okay, I'll just give it a big old kiss right there. How about that? Sweet little cheeks.
Tell him that.
Oh, you want a kiss? She wants a kiss. She wants a little cuddling, a little loving. There she goes.
There she goes.
Everybody needs a little loving.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Auntie Lorraine.
Where's the cookies, dude?
That's great.
This is cousin Shawn McCubbin's home that he just bought a year ago. It's built in 1934. It's in Independence, Missouri. We just rode over here with cousin Ron from Ron's house in Blue Hills, Missouri. And there's a family reunion going on inside. There's little kids, there's old people, there's kissing cousins. And I'm just going to go inside and shoot pictures of a few of them. And maybe shoot some of the back of this house. This house is on about an acre. And we'll try to get you familiar with some of the people back here in Missouri. This is a neighborhood close to here to Shawn. Across the street from Shawn. Nice big old homes. Quiet, very, very quiet. Shady streets. Country, feels like country. Some more of Shawn's house. Those are two of Shawn's little boys. They're camera shy. This is Shawn's backyard. I guess it's a golf course up there on the other side of the end of his property up there. Golf course. Right in there. There's people coming out.
Is this supposed to rain?
It was raining in Blue Hills. That's his cousin Leighton. Right there's Leighton. And there's Cindy, his wife Cindy.
Be careful walking over there, there's cactus.
Where? Oh, yeah.
You don't see too many cactus up this way.
Now, this will be a croquet yard.
Yeah, you can play croquet.
That's Shelley there. That's Shelley McCubbin, and that's Heather McCubbin. And that's Ruth McCubbin.
It is. Yeah, that's what you. A year and a week.
A year and a week.
35 and 32. What's,
Three granddaughters.
you're kidding, you got 3 granddaughters?
I got one 15, one 11, and one 9.
I haven't got no grandbabies.
I've got a bunch.
Do you?
Her together, but 2 of my own.
12.
Really? You got 12
Between her and I.
grandchildren?
Grandchildren, yeah.
Oh my
got-
goodness gracious. Wow. So do your children live close by here, or they've moved on?
My oldest daughter, Marcy, lives down south of Dallas in Alvarado, Texas.
And where?
Alvarado.
And she's how old?
She's 35.
She lives probably just not very far from my daughter, lives in Austin. And they're like a year, they're the same age.
Yeah,
That'd be cool for them to get together.
it would be.
Yeah. Maybe we can hook them up.
And my youngest daughter lives down at Branson.
Uh-huh.
She lives at
Yeah.
Branson.
Wow. Wow.
The grandkids live with their.
Is that
my
your grandbaby?
grandkids live with their father
Uh-huh.
one and
in Wisconsin.
Oh, right.
Uh-huh. In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. So you don't get to see them very often. Not unless they come here.
Can't see them all at once,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
distance doesn't help there.
Yeah. Nuh-uh. Some people are so camera shy, just don't want to.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
You 44? I just turned 45. 45. I know. The 40s, you
I'll
know,
be
the one.
6-0 next year.
Oh yeah, the ones in between are a problem. You know, like the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s.
Of course, women take
The
it all
40s in the fourth place, so it's 5. Uh oh, we're not gonna be growing much. It's those increments that count.
I read that.
Do I know you? Where's your name tag?
Yeah, you get your name tag, Uncle Bob.
I don't know, Robin.
We'll go make your name tag.
How was the trip out in Colorado?
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm ready to go for good.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, we've been out there 3
Oh, my
times
mom.
in 16 months, and we just want to go
But
back.
this is good. Well, I guess the air is same out there, and you can breathe. And
You can breathe. We did trail.
Crazy man. Let's see who is this. This is Mary Ellen. Oh, she just woke up.
You know Marilyn McCubbin, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Missouri over there, huh? I was there when we got here, and I don't know what to do with it. I hate to just mow it.
He's in one of the rooms.
Grandma?
Move it up here.
Move it in the
I don't know
house.
my jeans at.
You wait till it goes up a little bit.
I'll just take the umbrella. Here.
It don't matter now. Wow, what are the odds of that? I know. We probably related somehow. You know, I'm sure there's...
Well, yeah, her grandma and grandpa lived just right across.
Well, her uncle was married to my third cousin.
Is that...
Eastern Asia, the Asiatic countries, that's mostly African. Take this Darfur, you've heard more about it.
Darfur.
Darfur, yeah.
More comfortable for him.
We don't really need the computer screen as much as I just want to scan them while we're looking at them actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example this, yeah, do we have a light maybe that overhead?
Well, you ain't.
Life in the big frog pond. Never really started raining, did it? But looked like it was gonna.
Split rail fence that went this way and this way, this way and this way. Couldn't go straight. You had to inlay it this way and this way.
Good looking soldier.
And there's a snow on. And the dogs were running ahead of us. All we had was a chopping axe to chop a rabbit out of a hollow tree in case it run into it. And the dogs jumped that fox. That fox was asleep in the corner of that rail fence. And the dog was right in behind it and took it down a holler and up a hill. And the dogs, all three of them, got so close to that fox and made it climb a tree.
Oh.
The gray fox very seldom climbs a tree unless the pressure. And there was a limb run 90 degrees off from the trunk of the tree up about 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
And the fox sitting up there looking around.
Oh.
Just like he's on his shoulders.
Oh.
And I said, Chester, I said, we don't have a gun. I said, if we scare that fox out, it's going to get away from us. I said, I'll stay here with the dogs and the tree with the fox up the tree, and you go to the farmer's house over here and tell him we got a fox up a tree.
Oh.
And Brum Mitchell was the name of the farmer.
Yeah.
Chester went over there in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Here comes Chester and the Brum Mitchell, the grown man back, had a 22 rifle.
Yeah.
We held the dogs and he shot that fox out.
Oh.
And we come back by our grandparents' place, and Aunt Nellie, my father's youngest sister, their
Yeah.
family was out there at the place. And the little girl, one of them, I forget which one it was now, some naughty boys killed a fox.
Oh.
But we had that gray fox there in our granddad's house.
Oh,
But
God.
Chester went over to that neighbor's house and told us that me and my brother got a fox up a tree over there and they need somebody to shoot it out. And that Brum Mitchell come over there with a 22 rifle shot.
Just young boys, huh?
6 years difference in our age.
Yeah.
Chester was 7, I guess, I was 12 or 13.
Oh, just young
6 or
boys.
7 and
Just
12
young
or
boys had chased a fox up a tree.
Well, wasn't carried, we didn't have down no gun with us.
That's something.
John Bivey's daughter's mother.
John Bivey's daughter's
My
mother.
grandmother, my
Your grandmother.
Elbert McCubbin's wife, Mary Jane Bivey.
Okay.
And that was, this woman here was my grandmother's mother.
Okay.
And when she died, my granddad had his own casket made and set up in the loft for his own use.
Uh-huh.
And when she died,
Uh-huh.
he buried her in his casket.
In his
that he had
casket?
himself.
Oh.
And her maiden name before she married John Bobby
Uh-huh.
was Henshaw.
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 Okay.
And she died with cancer of the breast. They claim when they laid her out, her left arm regular come off her body.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, my grandmother told me this one.
Wow.
Says her mother, which was John Bobby, was my great grandfather.
Uh-huh. John Baby. Uh-huh. This was on Cynthia on the Dunn side? No. McCubbin side.
I'm not.
He was born down in Kentucky, and he shook hands with Abraham Lincoln when he was a 16-year-old boy.
She,
Wow.
Oh,
the
who was
Bibies
this?
and the Bibies and the Duns. Let's see, the Bibies was the and the Duns were the maternal
Yes.
side.
Say that again? The babies were...
That sounds just like Uncle Chester right there.
Or the
If I
paternal.
wasn't looking at you, Tom, I just heard your dad talk.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
him.
I get it from him, yeah.
He was born in 1847. And John Bobby, that lady's husband,
Okay, uh-huh.
born in 1847.
1847, yeah.
Yeah. This is John Biby's wife.
And my granddad, his son-in-law was born in 1854.
Uh-huh.
There's 7 years difference between father-in-law and son.
Oh, 7 years difference.
7 years difference.
Wow.
Yes. And I've got the marriage certificate at home.
There must have been a scarcity of good-looking ladies or something in those days, huh? That what it was?
Must have been, I agree with it.
Yeah.
I've got the marriage certificate at home of my grandfather marrying my grandmother, or this lady's
Uh-huh.
daughter, Mary Jane Bobby.
Uh-huh.
Henshaw married a Bobby, and they had 6 or 7 girls and 1 boy.
Wow.
So 1 boy being my
Janice, can you
father.
hold that up for me? Just hold it up. Just hold it up.
Well, I want the print though.
They had one of their
I
children.
know.
Because it describes all
Nora,
the, it
down
says
in
nobody ever
Spokane
saw her.
home. She died of pneumonia when we had a rock. We come over and saw her today.
Hey, why do you think we came over? Do you think we came over during the potato famine, or what do you think brought us over
The
here?
initial family that came over on the Plymouth Rock in the 14th century.
Yeah, why do you think, what
But
brought
they
them
come
over?
over here to escape the high taxation and the ruling in England. Looking
Yeah.
for new land to come over here, and they confronted with American Indian, which was over here minding their own business. They was on this continent first. The white people come over, and we were nothing but
Plunderers.
come over to rape the country, basically, saying
Yeah,
we took
sure.
over. And if they didn't yield to us, we shot them with a rifle.
Came over
They
for
had no way
land.
to defend themselves except with spears, and there was no equal measure ceremony. And we think that we're innocent people. No, we're.
But we're getting it back, you know, we're getting it
Looking
back from the
back
Hispanics
5
are coming
centuries
up
ago.
from,
5 centuries
South
ago,
America.
this country done the wrong thing by invading another man's country.
Yeah.
It's plain as the nose on your face. History
Yeah.
will tell us that.
Same thing in Iraq today.
Same thing has happened with this country now, trying to go over into Iraq and
Yeah.
straighten their government out. Those people over don't want us over there.
Yeah.
That's
They want
right.
their own government.
Yeah.
But here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
People organized on a criminal basis come over here and tried to bomb the White House and the Pentagon,
Right.
confiscated, kidnapped our own planes and crews when the planes were full of fuel and crashed them into their big tall buildings.
yeah.
Right.
And the one plane that couldn't make it, he got apprehended for his mission to destroy the White House.
Yeah.
That's the reason we are in Iraq now, is to get the people.
Yeah.
President Bush says, don't worry, you will hear from us.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I've been trying to get the outlaws to try to destroy this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So history repeats itself.
Yeah. It's a mess.
History repeats itself. The current and future.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't look to the future, Prudential Insurance had a slogan, the future belongs to those who plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yeah.
true statement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
true.
proven statement from
Yeah.
past history.
Mm-hmm.
The people had the progress, they was filled in, and living the life of a monkey in the jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, Shannon shared this envelope of flowers that were on the grave of Mary Jane McCubbin's grave.
Who's Mary Jane McCubbin?
This was, this would be grandmother McCubbin's coffin. This would be Dad's grandmother. This would
Oh.
be Chester's
The
grandmother.
element
So,
of
Okay.
surprise
So the
is
Elbert's
biggest
wife.
factor in the
Oh.
so
determining
here's the ferns.
I'll be darned.
And
any
so this
war
is in
going.
there.
The element of surprise.
Nobody's
sneak
looked in
attack,
here before. This is the first time
determines the
the
outcome of
archaeologist
any
can take this
conflict.
out. It looks like there was maybe a
That's the reason
carnation.
Japanese pull Pearl Harbor.
Looks like a carnation and a fern or something, huh?
Carnations
hours
and
of the night.
ferns.
People celebrating Saturday night, sleep
And there's
late
some
on Sunday
petals
morning,
here.
good go in while everybody
Maybe
is
some
sleeping.
rose petals.
Sleeping.
Rose
They
petals.
still
Oh.
haven't paid enough in my book.
Yeah.
They still owe this country a
Huh.
lot of money.
Okay.
That was all unpredictable, and never healed.
We just found this
Back.
family
That's
tree
that's
from
our dad's
the
mother.
box that Shannon passed to us
And that's
last night
Katie.
and found that
That's,
John Bybee
Aunt Zonie's daughter.
was
That's
born
Aunt
on the
Zonie, and
same
that's Kenneth, the
day
boy that died with
that Tom was born, October
Dick,
5th, but he was
and
born in
that's
1848.
great-grandpa Bybee.
Tom was born October
On the
5th,
side. He used to come to the
1948.
house,
We have a
the
picture that we're going to
saxophone,
scan, that Sean's going to
overleaf
scan,
save, and
of John
cough
Bybee.
drops and whatnot.
And he was the mother of
He's
Mary
the one
Jane
that shot
Bybee, so he
Abraham
would be
Lincoln
Tom's
down when he was
great-great-grandfather.
So
So this is
John
quite a
Bybee.
discovery.
So
Yeah.
Her name
Yeah, I just found this card in the box that Shannon gave to us, and it has a memorial for Luther Grant McCubbin. And he
Which was the oldest?
LG.
Luther was,
It was would have been, was LG older than you, Uncle Milo?
Huh?
Was LG a little bit older
Luther-
than you?
Luther
two
pa-
years older than
2 years older than Uncle Milo. It would have been 90.
and
Luther
Luther
would've
was
been
the
90.
one, but Luther was the one
Car
that,
wreck.
that died in the car wreck, and he was buried August 4th,
Which is today.
family tree.
1941, and today is August 4th.
And we're going to go
August
see his gravesite
And we're
tomorrow.
gonna see his
Uh-huh.
gravesite tomorrow. And he was buried by his mother
In Cross Timber.
in Cross Timbers on
She's
August 4th.
buried right next to him.
She's buried
She's
right
buried
next to
right
him.
next to him. So
Wow.
this is the little card of remembrance.
Wow.
So we can just hold him in memory today.
Yeah.
This is a statement about Nicholas McCubbin, born in 1760 in Pennsylvania County, Virginia, and he died in 1846 in Rockingham County, North Carolina. He applied for a pension as a North Carolina militiaman in the Revolutionary War in August of 1832.
Uh-huh.
He declared that he volunteered for service as a militiaman in Guilford County, North Carolina. And for 9 months, he was in the company of Captain John Davis and Lieutenant George Pierce. And he was encamped at Pom Pom Roads near Charleston, South Carolina, and fought in the Battle of Stono. That General Lincoln commanded that day, but General Butler was commander of the troops. So, Janis, if you want to get into the DAR, here's
That's
your
the
ticket.
piece of
My
information that
ticket.
gets you into the DAR.
Yes,
Daughters of the American Revolution.
exactly.
Cool.
30, 40, 50, 70, born. He got married when he was 34 years old. Got married in Jasper County, Missouri. Jasper County, to marry Jane Russell, October 11th and 28 in Kentucky. And died 1904, Jasper County, Missouri. 1904. My granddad's mother died 1904, Jasper County, Missouri. I do not know, there's 114 counties in Missouri, and I don't know where Jasper County is. It must be adjacent to Miller County.
Actually, I think Jasper is north of Greene County. It's down by Springfield. I think Jasper's right.
County, yeah.
Like Nevada, kind of, it's right, that's Mount Vernon County. I think it's right there. I think it's kind of, it's western, I believe.
Due to my granddad's trade, he followed carpenter trade from where he was born, over around Kaiser, Missouri, down to Jasper County here, and wound up in Oklahoma doing carpentry work.
Okay.
So it figures.
Mm-hmm. I think
You know, the adjacent counties,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
that's
train of travel figures on that. Read.
Well, you know, what I just found was this was Elbert Marion's. Okay, wait a minute.
Give me something to scan. Scanner's open. I need to
Okay, the scanner is open.
use the time.
This is, according to the records of the Adjutant General's Office, on the 23rd of June, Joseph Delano McCubbin enlisted in the service
Really?
as a corporal in Company K Osage Regiment.
Osage.
Regiment
Civil War?
in something, Missouri. Home
Before you scan it, look at this.
Horn Generals or something for
Every ancestor I had. Up to the
for
point
so
of
many
that
years, unless sooner discharged on the 23rd day of June 1861 at
Good
Miller
last page,
County,
come on this.
and was enlisted with and I can't read it real clearly, but this was his enlistment paper into the service in 1861.
Wow.
Joseph Delano McCubbin.
I'll be there. Or Dad's dad.
Dad's dad.
I haven't seen that. That's, so we've got our grandfather is Joseph Delano,
Mm-hmm.
which would be these guys' dad. His dad was Albert Marion McCubbin. His dad would have been Joseph Delaney McCubbin. His dad was James, what was the middle initial?
P.
E?
P.
P. James P. McCubbin. And once we kind of hooked into the James P. McCubbin, there were some other McCubbins that had done a lot of family research and got all the way back to the Knockdolian Castle stuff. So we can't authenticate that, but a lot of folks spend a lot of time. So once we kind of hooked into that one branch, the people in that branch had done the history research. So, what, 4 generations back of McCubbin, 5 generations, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
of McCubbins from us.
Uh-huh.
Keeper of the.
Opal harbored that for years.
Opal had all this
And when
information?
she was deceased, why she gave it to Mary Ellen.
Good.
Oh, okay.
But still, Opal's daughter, Bobby, still has a lot of Opal's paraphernalia, that they had some kind of conflict between them. I don't know the particulars. But Bobby, Opal's daughter, still has some of Opal's possessions. Whether it's pictures or what kind of nomenclature it is, I don't know.
There's your copy.
Talked about the Civil War.
Probably Civil War veteran never talked about.
That's interesting.
My grandfather was born 1854, and that James, or my great-grandfather, my grandfather's dad, what date was his born? He was born in 61.
How old would he have been? Yeah, it would have been.
The date of birth is not there.
I think he was not, it would have been about
You have
30.
to be of age, probably.
I think
At
it was
least
about
17 or 18 to join the Civil War. And it don't state whether he is a Union or otherwise. Union or Confederate.
Janis.
It may be, I don't think I brought that file over yet. I think it's right over there. Okay. Thank you.
Janis, another drink?
Oh.
Dad, right there.
That'd be Mary Jane's son.
No, this would be Mary Jane's dad right here, John Bybee.
That's Bobby, his Bobby, but
Yes.
that would be all the family there, starting with great-grandpa John Bybee.
Yeah. Well, that's her
And
grandfather.
down to Ronnie's grandson will be 10 generations, blood relations. That little boy there that passed away when he was young, like 6, 7 years old.
He'd be
His
like
blood
you.
name is Green.
But he'd be like you though. He would be your generation.
Huh?
He would be your generation, right? Because that's her grandson. Right, and that'd be your-
That's Zonie's grandson. That's my aunt's grandson.
I thought I knew that.
Now, I didn't think Aunt Opal got married, but she married Willard
She married Granville Wright to start with. And
Willard Barnett
She married Willard Barnett.
in 1932.
Yes, and
Oh,
they divorced during the wartime. He got to stepping out on her on their family car, and he got drafted and went to service, and he was home on leave, and she found evidence in the back seat, better known as the prophylactic,
oh boy,
that he had been out with somebody else, and she divorced him.
oh boy.
That's where Opal became a single woman and was married to Willard Barnett.
Is that right?
Willard Barnett died with prostate cancer later.
Oh.
But he did fight in the Lucian War in the 7th Infantry Division.
Did
On the
he?
Battle of Attu, Willard was in that battle.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh?
Opal had a daughter, right?
Yes.
And then she had
Yeah.
a daughter.
And when she was 14 years old,
Yeah.
she
Oh.
was pregnant by her great uncle, or my grandmother's brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was an uncle that got her pregnant. Grandmother's brother. Oh.
It happens
Yeah.
in all, yeah.
Followed that baby, didn't she?
She knew the father of her child.
She knew where that baby.
She put it up for adoption.
She put it out for adoption, and then she looked for it, or
Doc
It was
Phillips's.
born down in Tennessee, and they get a midwife delivered it, and they couldn't take care of it, and they put it up for adoption, and she didn't know who took it. Only thing she knew that some family by the name of Phillips took the baby.
yeah.
And that's the reason that the Opal saw Doc Phillips and his wife thought, and they had adopted a child, and Opal's under suspicion thought, since they had adopted a child, that child might be her child.
And so she went.
And it did have facial features of Val Bobby, the father of it.
Oh.
So Bobby Phillips, me and Earl both conceded, looked at it, compared it, said Bobby was Opal's blood daughter.
Yeah.
Well, she married Doc Phillips. Opal married Doc.
Opal
She finally
well,
did after his wife passed away.
Opal married Doc after Doc's wife died.
She went down and wanted to work in his property or something, right?
She ran the dairy.
They
She
had-
ran the
the dairy there.
They
Yeah.
had,
Doc-
he was
Doc was an
He was
architect.
an engineer. Doc Phillips was a nice man.
He was an architect.
Oh.
He was an architect. He built
Built
the
blueprints.
Texas bookstore building where President Kennedy was shot. He was foreman that built that Texas bookstore building.
Oh,
You're
really?
kidding.
Yes.
Opal's,
They want to chill.
Opal's husband built the bookstore depository that Lee Henry Oswald shot John F. Kennedy in. Wow.
So did Bobby know her mother was Opal?
Sure.
Okay, so they
She
sure.
did.
Thank you, Sean.
She used, that's
I'm
it.
like, well, I did that too.
She did, yeah.
That's amazing. How their dad put the names on it.
Yeah, the quality's pretty low, and if we had some really nice photo paper, you have to be good.
I was taking that girl away. That lady picture.
Thanks, Al. These guys, they always have their cars. You fast forward that time and get it to the.
A Chinese restaurant in Chinatown in San Francisco. And my souvenir was this plastic helmet. And Ho Chi Minh came out and said, "Why is the young man laying with his head down on the table?" And I raised up, and this was under my arm. And he said, "Yucky."
Beans earlier, and I'm like, well, okay, I didn't touch it.
Well, Latham. I'm never gonna remember that, so you're gonna have to.
Latham? Latham Cemetery.
Spivey comes, we crossed over and talked to Bert, and he knew where Grandpa Dunn was buried. And Bert told him so bad to go over there and see it, but never did get.
Yeah, because Chilhowie's quite a way, and there's nothing over at Chilhowie. It's just a big
No,
farming
it's just the
community.
name on it.
Chilhowie, is that a town?
Chilhowie, Chilhowee.
Wow.
Yes, dear.
Wait a minute.
Go get it.
Wait a minute. I have a technical problem.
Kodak. See Kodak. Say Eastman. Everybody say Eastman.
Eastman.
Eastman, come on.
Okay, I'm making a movie.
We're down in the Ozarks this morning. Cousin Shawn has driven us down here from Kansas City. And we're in Cross Timbers, Missouri. This is the town that my dad, Chester Harold McCubbin, was born in. It's not a very big town. We've just driven through it and looked at it. And we're out on the edge of town at the cemetery. There's Shawn's van. And this is where most of the old McCubbin family is buried, right here. And Shawn has brought us out here to tell us a little bit more about it. So I'm going to move on over there and show you a little bit about who's buried here in Cross Timbers.
This is Luther McCubbin's grave.
LG, known as LG.
Known as LG, and he died on August 4th, 1941. Yeah, thank you.
And what's the date today?
And today's August 5th. So yesterday, when we were going through the archives, we noticed that we saw his memorial paper and saw that it was August 4th. And so today we're just kind of coming out and paying our respects to Luther.
He was 24 when he died. He was killed in a car wreck.
He was
coming back from leave, and when he was down at Camp Hewlin, Texas, he was killed in a car wreck. I guess they swerved to hit a tree, him and a couple of his buddies. He was the only one that was hurt, and he was killed. LaGrange, Texas, and he was 24. And it just tore the boys up because he was kind of a big, healthy brother, and he was just all of a sudden gone. And so my brother, Luther Glenn McCubbin, is named after him, and Leighton is Leighton Grant Yates. So LG.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Leighton Grant.
And over here, we have, let's go to the other side here, Tom.
Yeah.
He died at 21, and he died, I can't tell you exactly what he died of, but he was never healthy in his life. He had some type of congenital disease, and he never really developed fully, and was just,
They had to carry him.
yeah, and he died in the Nevada State Hospital, I believe, but this is where he's buried, at 21. So he's buried right next to his mother, which is our grandmother.
So our grandma's my grandma.
That's your grandma. It says Cynthia Modena Dunn. Her name was Tinny, they called her.
Tinny, they called her.
Born in 1888, died in 1934. She died at, 46 years old?
He never said that, but
Yeah.
it was sentimental to him. He wanted his
Yeah,
mother
he didn't
back.
talk a lot about it.
He wouldn't talk about his mother
They
at
loved
all.
their mother.
Uh-huh.
And then Karen Dunn, and she is Cynthia's mother. And so,
That's our great-grandma.
Yeah, and so Robert, this is Robert Dunn's wife. And so Robert, that's where my dad got his name. My dad is Robert Dunn McCubbin. R.D. McCubbin is Robert Dunn McCubbin, named after his grandfather on his mom's side.
Uh-huh. Uncle Bob.
That's Uncle Bob's namesake.
Yep.
And, let me see if I can get these names right. So it was Opal Helen, Bert was Elbert Marion, Elvin I don't know, Earl, gosh I should know Earl. Earl Aaron or Aaron Earl. LG, which is Luther Grant. They just called him LG that way. Milo is Joseph Milo. Bob is Robert D. Mary Ellen, Chester Harold, and Glenn Allen. Right there. And,
There's Chester, and there's my dad, yeah.
And so
It's
then,
on his mom's
right here is
tombstone.
Uncle Earl's grave.
There's Uncle Earl buried right here.
And he died in 2002. Very fond memories of him.
Yeah, yes.
And it's August 12th, so
Coming
we
right
just,
up.
yeah, his
Coming
memorial
up.
time is coming up, so we just pay respect to him.
Yeah.
And here's my mom.
Annie Adair,
She
she's
died-
buried right here.
She died 2 weeks before Uncle Earl.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah, I think
Was
that
was Uncle Earl here in Missouri when he died, or was he?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was.
Yeah. He'd
He'd come back and
he'd come back from Wenatchee.
kind of reestablished himself here for a few years.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah.
So that's where my.
my mom was buried on July 23rd in '99.
Is that right?
So,
A lot of
so it was a hard
similarities.
summer.
Uncle Bert,
Bert's right here.
buried right here. Now Uncle Bert lived here in Cross Timbers almost all of his life, I
He
guess.
spent 90% of his entire life within 10 miles of here.
90% of his life within 10 miles of here, and he's lived to about 88 years old?
86 years old.
86
Roughly,
years old.
Almost 86, yeah.
Yeah, this is where he lived.
Ultimate outdoorsman.
Ultimate outdoorsman, had a bar here.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's tore down.
Yep.
So the question I have when I start looking around is, okay, well, where am I going to be? You know?
Yeah. Have they used up all the space, or is there
It's
some?
scary.
Are you ready
Yeah.
to buy your? I'm ready to buy mine.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what to do.
I bet Dad likes to be moved back here.
This is where, let's see, so it's 1, 2, Fisher Cemetery.
Fisher Cemetery is where
It's the
Joe
next cemetery down, about
Joe
5
Delaney.
miles.
The name of the cemetery
This
is
is Cross Timber Cemetery.
Cross
Cross
Timber
Timber
Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Yeah, this is Cross Timber Cemetery, and the thing is, the brothers that knew Joseph didn't want to be buried next to his mom. They didn't want him buried in the same cemetery.
Uh-huh.
That's what.
Uh-huh.
He was just not a good father, not a good role model, but you know, he did what he had to do, and
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this Martha Jane Clark here, this the rumor or the story is that she had a lot of Cherokee blood in her, whether it was a whole or how much.
Timmy's mom.
But it'd be her. So Martha Jane Clark, wife of Robert T. Dunn, if we could, that'd be kind of the connection to check back into.
Yeah.
To do a little more genealogy on that.
Yeah.
That lineage.
Yeah.
Because that would be Radford's mom too.
Okay.
Dunn, the picture you saw, the Indian-looking Rad.
Yep, the Indian-looking Rad. That's his mom.
That's his mom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it'd be anxious to see. So there's Martha Jane Clark.
Uh-huh.
She married Robert Dunn. I think she came out of, or he came out of Tennessee somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know exactly where she came from. But I think Robert T. Dunn is buried in Chilhowie.
And
So I
that's
think
about an hour north of here.
Yeah, I think Chilhowie is where he is.
Uh-huh.
And then if you just kind of look across the cemetery, you'll see a lot of Bibees. And those are family. So those
Bibees, all family, uh-huh.
So the McCubbins and the Bibees were related through marriage.
Yeah.
And so we have, well, frankly, we have just as much McCubbin blood as Bybee blood.
Yeah. Just that we got the...
Albert Marion married Mary Jane Bybee, so we have...
Okay, you guys.
We're Bybee as much as we are McCubbin.
Just have to lay down.
Go right. Okay, well...
Today's August 5th, 2007, and we're in Cross Timbers, Missouri. I'm Janis McCubbin Schneider, and this is Shawn.
Shawn McCubbin.
McCubbin.
Hi, everybody. Let me take the glasses off
and
a little bit.
Tom McCubbin is filming, and Shawn has just driven us down in his Cadillac van here to Cross Timbers.
Little GMC, yeah.
Yeah, and we are standing on the plaza, and Shawn's going to tell us all about this area.
So we are standing at in the center of Cross Timber. We're standing in the center of Cross Timber Square, and if you kind of look around, I'm gonna let your dad or let Tom kind of do a little bit of a pan around. But this town has been here for, I don't know, at least 100 years and probably 200. But our dads, my dad's Bob, and your Chester and Harold Chester Harold. Well, those guys grew up walking in from their home place about 2 or 3 miles from here. They would actually bring eggs and chickens and stuff off the farm. They'd walk in and they'd come to here on a weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday, and they'd sell their produce on this square. And my dad tells stories. You see all these barricades or these concrete pieces, and they've got kind of wire up across it now. But they used to have it. I don't know if these are still the same ones, but they used to have it. They would tie their horses up. There would be a wood boardwalk, and you can still see some pieces of it. A wood boardwalk around the whole square, and this place was just hopping. He said there was 2 barber shops, general store where you'd go and get ice cream, and you'd get candy, so the kids would come in and they would get, you know, a nickel's worth of candy, and just make their whole week. They lived the opportunity to come into town and sell eggs and get candy and trade eggs for ice cream. So there's a post office. There used to be an old bank right there. There's still a community building, so Uncle Milo and my dad they'd still come down here occasionally and play their guitars and their fiddles and their banjos right here with people that they grew up with. And there's a group called the Cross Timbers Connection that they still hook up with. That's people that have moved up to the Kansas City area from here, and they get together regularly and talk about the good old days in Cross Timbers. But there's not much here now. It's really a shame. You can see the town is just kind of decayed. But this is the hub. And there's an old well, you see a little well right there that you could just do your hand pump. So this is where literally the horses and buggies and the horses and wagons would come in off the farm from the fields and come here. And this was the center of the whole, This was the trading center of the whole area. And now there's, we saw the signs coming in, Cross Timbers population 185.
Who all was born around in this area?
So I think it was your dad was born here. Milo and my dad, I think, were born in Redfield, Kansas, across the border, across the state line, about probably 100 miles from here. Maybe not quite that far. But most of them were born. Most of the brothers were born right here. So this is kind of the this is the McCubbin hub. This is the McCubbin hub. We just took a little tour of the McCubbin family plots across the way of the cemetery. It's about a quarter mile from here. And if you look right there, there's Uncle Bert's trailer. So our Uncle Bert, a little cream-colored trailer right there underneath the water tower. That's where Uncle Bert lived probably the last 20 years of his life, literally a block off the square. And my guess is all these cars are here. If we walked over there and said, hi, we're the McCubbins, my guess is somebody would know either us or Uncle Bert or our dads, or have heard of us, because this is kind of McCubbin. This is McCubbin territory. That's where our story began, basically.
Yeah.
How's that humidity feeling now, Janet? Yeah. The businesses are here. There's like 2 banks, and there's like 2 of everything because there's competition.
Oh, there was back then?
There's 2 of everything.
Back when he was like a teenager?
20s and 30s.
20s and 30s?
And then the Depression killed this town because the Depression killed the banks.
Yeah. They were farm banks.
They're having a family.
There's a McCubbin Point right there too. Have you seen the sign on the highway there?
There's a McCubbin Point in Jeffries?
I don't know about Jeffries Point, but there's a McCubbin Point.
Jeffries Point is where the State Park number 1 is now.
Okay. All right. Well, McCubbin Point is, I don't know.
The CCA boys built the first cabin, the first shelter houses or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and my dad was and uncles were in Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC guys.
Well, my cousin, in fact, the oldest one of this family, and her husband, which is deceased now, he was one of the CC boys there.
Okay. I wonder if they knew my dad.
1937.
Yeah, they were there right then. They were
39.
born in 22 and 21, and they went there when they were in their teens.
And I tell you, if you want to check in on some of those guys that were there, there's a guy named Hap Yeager, Elmo Yeager, lives up here in Warsaw.
I think my dad's talked about Hap Yeager.
He was there in 1937.
Yeah. My dad was there in 37, sure.
He,
so they were there a few years before the war. They were talking just yesterday, talking about Zonie's house. And Zonie, she married an Olson, John Olson, I guess. I'm not sure his first name, but also it's Aunt Zonie Olson. And she would have been our granddad's sister. Well, this is her house, and I remember distinctly, I don't recall it as Zonie, but I remember her son, Elmer, and we got to be pretty good, he's dad's age. He's a real super nice guy. Well, I remember Elmer would sit here, and he had a collection of outdoor life. He had every outdoor life ever made, and he just had them stacked up in here. But I'll tell you the story. So this is where they had Elmer's car, and they had a big garage. I think it was like a 1929 Ford, big black car. We're going to stick our head in there. I'm sure it's not still there, but that's where he had his car. And they had this field right here was where they would grow the potatoes and their truck garden. This little field right here. And right behind it down here is a creek, and there's a spring that kind of runs into the creek, and that's where they got their water. So they would always have water. It never would freeze over. I think Dad was saying it would never freeze over. And then they had she would always have biscuits, and you were telling me the same thing. She always had some biscuits and a little bit of homemade butter and some lard kind of to put on the biscuits and some preserves. So whenever they got really hungry, they know they could come over here and get a little something to eat. So this is where they our dad's.
Yeah. He came over here and get something to eat from the aunt.
Zonie. This is where they would. So this is her home, and John and Lily is her daughter. Used to live down here about a quarter mile. I'll take you down there and we'll turn around. But she passed away a few years ago. But her son teaches at the University of Missouri, and he and I communicated for a little while, but I haven't talked to him in 10 years.
What does he teach?
I'm not sure. He's a really nice guy, and he
in Kansas City or
Columbia, University of Columbia.
But
anyways, this is Aunt Zonie's house.
Cute house.
Yeah, it is.
So
I bet these trees were here when Grandpa was here.
Yeah.
So I gotta believe that house is what, 100 years old? You know?
It looks 100 years
easy,
old,
had
yeah.
to be.
Easy.
And Janice and I, when we were little kids, we slept in this house.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
I never slept here, but
Yes,
stayed overnight.
we slept in this house.
Dad pulled in one night and says, I want you to meet my Aunt Zonie.
Yep.
Wow, how neat.
Remember just how enchanted I was as a child coming out here.
So your dad and my dad have walked through this door
Yes.
many times.
Uh-huh.
I'd just be curious. I'd just be curious if it's locked. I could not tell you where the spring is, but there's a spring right here somewhere.
I remember they had a hand pump, right?
Yeah.
You pump the water up out of a well?
My sure did.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you. There's a spring. And is that a little house over there? Maybe that's just some trees. There, maybe that's the spring house or the well house or something. And if you look at it, it's a pretty nice little house.
Looks pretty well built.
Yeah.
When sawing, please keep the door closed as much as possible. Thanks. Well, this is a back door.
That's the back door. Is it open? Is Aunt Zonie in there?
Her spirit certainly is.
It's locked up, but it's an old wooden door, bless its heart. Or
This
now.
is Aunt Zonie's house, and Zonie, and I'm going to see how many sisters I can name. I'm probably not
Nell
going to get
was
them all.
the youngest.
Yeah, Nell was the youngest. She passed a couple years ago. Maybe.
She played the piano, and all the 6 girls were musicians.
Was it 6 girls? So I'll tell you, see, here's the names that I remember. So I had Zonie,
Zonie,
Fanny,
Fanny,
Susie,
Susie, yeah, Nell.
Nell. That's terrible. Susie, Zonie, Fanny, Nell. And there's 2 more.
So anyway, and then they had one brother named Joseph, and,
And
that was our grandfather.
Joseph is our
That was our
grandfather.
dad's dad.
He
Sister
was
Harold's
born
dad.
into the family.
And Tom and I stopped here when we were about 7 and 9.
Oh, Pearl.
Oh, Pearl. Yeah.
Pearl.
And there was a Nora, but Nora didn't last very long. Nora died as a little girl down in Oklahoma on the way to Oklahoma, or way back. So Nora died at a real young age, like 3 or 5. I don't think she made it to 5. It was Nora, or Dora, I'm sorry, it was Dora.
Dora? Oh, we got a grandma Dora. On my mom's side.
Susie. There's one more I'm missing somewhere. I'll have to think about it. But this is where one of them lived.
Did the others live close by here?
I'm sorry?
Did the others live close by
Susie
here?
lived close by. I'm going to see if I can find Susie's house. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it, but Susie lived close.
Okay.
And then the other ones, Nell moved to Nest City, Kansas. She married Harry Shawn.
Uh-huh.
McFarland moved to up by the Missouri River, Malta Bend. So there was a few that stayed here.
Okay.
A few that moved. They're all within a couple hours here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And look at this sweet old door. You can just, well, it's closed up so the wind won't flap it open, but
yeah, you can just see them.
But it's the original door, and it's the original screen door, and original windows.
Yeah, the original
And I bet you Chester and Uncle Bob just went up and down.
Went in and out of this thing all the
In and out,
time.
getting
Going for a
biscuits
pan of fried
playing.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Playing with kitty cats and puppy dogs. And
Yep.
You know it.
When they were little.
barefoot and
And all the food was growing out here in this field.
Yeah, this was their world.
Yep, this was their world.
their home, yeah.
Home away from home.
Yep. But they didn't physically live here, but this is where they got their security. Because they didn't have parents.
I love, if you could get a shot here, I love it from right here. I'd like to take it home and paint it. You could just come over and photograph.
Cool little roof line on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Just go right, put the perspective and the trees go right down, and it's like a painting, really.
Yeah.
See that everything
It
points
is,
down
of course
to the
it's a
red line.
painting.
Huh?
You bet it's a painting.